Thank you very much for accepting the invitation to be here. I know you're very busy, and I'm happy. However, I must say, sorry and sad that you left our GCP board. I know your term ended, and unfortunately, you had to go according to our bylaws, but
Yes.
I wish you could have stayed. And as we all know, you were in our GCP board representing the Latin American producers. But in fact, you were also speaking on behalf of world coffee producers because of your leadership of the World Coffee Producers Forum. Actually, Juan Esteban, you were in the board for a longer time than I have been, and this was really a key period for GCP. This was the period when, with your help, GCP developed and came to its current stage with collective action initiatives, the Coffee Sustainability Reference Code, and the Roasters Retailer Snapshot of Sustainable Purchases. In your participation was very important to bring us where we are now, entering GCP 2.0 with our strategic plan 2025 and 2030. Can you describe your experience working with the stakeholders from different backgrounds on the GCP board? What was it like to work with others in a pre-competitive environment and being part of the team guiding GCP?
Thank you, Carlos. I'm very happy to share with you my experience, which was a very positive one. You know, I had the opportunity to join GCP at the very beginning when it was just being born. The right values were there at the very beginning. The right team with Annette leading all these years this team, but also it was trying to find its as the French say, it's raison d'être, their reason to be, and in the sense that we know what we wanted. We know that we wanted to work for the coffee value chain, for coffee producers, particularly when we knew we wanted to work for sustainability and to make coffee more sustainable. It was a question of trying to start to put things together and get things to land on the ground, all the actions needed to put in place, all the work in the countries, and so on. And that took some time, like in any process. That took some time also. There was this interesting experience working for people from different parts of the value chain, for the producers on one side, you have the traders, you have the roasters, retailers at some point. So it's been very, very interesting to be able to share with all these things that have one thing in common, which is the interest in the sustainability of the coffee value chain. And again, so also trying to make sure the producers, the farmers are become more sustainable, especially economically sustainable. And that's that. And I guess we're going to be talking a little bit about that. That leads us into all this process that also involves the conceptual evolution to the discussion about what is it we should achieve, what are we looking for farmers, and the acceptance by GCP and moving ahead with the concept of prosperity for farmers, which is a very interesting point in common with the World Coffee Producers Forum that I have the honor to lead and to coordinate. So I guess it's been a very positive experience. It's been a very, very interesting. It's been a process. It's been not always easy, but with a lot of the right people with I want to say their hearts and their minds in the right place, and the will to work toward the sustainability of the coffee value chain and the well-being of coffee farmers.
And what would you say you're most proud of relating to the time you spent with GCP?
If I have to, if you corner me into saying something, was the ability of GCP, and you and I have discussed this many times, the ability of GCP to be able to sit everybody at the table and find a common ground, a conceptual common ground for the discussion, for the conversation, and find also common ground on a path ahead to achieve the goal that GCP wants to achieve.
Excellent, because that's what GCP is about, is to bring the different actors in the coffee agribusiness together to advance sustainability. Growers' sustainability is the key point, and prosperity, as you said, living income, sustainable income. And having been part of laying all this groundwork since the time of 4C, what are you most looking forward to seeing from GCP 2.0?
I would say that I expect GCP to be able to be a significant part of building the structure that will allow farmers to prosper. When I say the structure, because it's not just GCP. It's a process where you have to have in the roasting industry, in the trade, producers themselves, producing countries, governments, producing country stakeholders, NGOs, civil society. So the work of GCP is in GCP 2.0, if I can put it in practical terms, is to expand this, being able to be the place for this common conversation. And in this second phase, I would call it as the bridge building phase, where specific initiatives, where GCP has a lot of leverage, has the talent, has the people, has the knowledge, can help producers and let's say producing countries and producers and coffee producing stakeholders, push them to create the structure for farmers to be prosperous in the next years.
Now that you're no longer in the board, how do you see the collaboration between GCP and the World Coffee Producers Forum that you lead?
Stage with all this process, GCP has become like a reference in the coffee industry. GCP now has the capacity to work hand in hand with the World Coffee Producers Forum or any other organization, and with the Producers Forum, we're looking forward to work with GCP for the years to come.
I must say, as the chair of the GCP board, we're very much looking forwards to it. We want to be in very close collaboration because I think we have a lot to contribute to each other. And together, we'll be much more strong, much stronger than separate. And I'm sorry that we don't have much time, but I would like to ask if you have any additional comments.
I think it is very, very powerful the way GCP has been able to sit everybody at the table and to have a dialogue where people with lots of different interests and different priorities and different places in the value chain have been able to talk to each other and to move ahead certain initiatives. And my second would be as I say here, kudos to not just the board, because we shouldn't be congratulating ourselves, but to Annette and the team, because they have done a very hard work. Their work is appreciated, not just because I was on the board. Now that I'm not on board and looking backwards, I still appreciate it. I think they did a fantastic job, and there was a lot of leadership and lots of very good work done and being done now in the future.
I fully agree with you, Juan Esteban. They have survived with us, and with the board asking this and asking that. I think in our own roles, each one, board and executive, did our part. I want you to accept our word of thanks in my name and the name of the board for so much time and work you dedicated to GCP. We know this is volunteer work that you had to add to your usual heavy workload at the Colombian Coffee Federation in New York. And we much appreciate what you could do. And I must say that we will miss you at the board. We will miss your critical but diplomatic opinions. And we'll miss, very important, the way you always brought the coffee producers' perspective to the board, using both a Latin American and a world perspective. We'll miss your strategic understanding of sustainability, having income, living prosperous, sustainable income at the basis of everything. And I think GCP is very aligned with that today. And in summary, we're already missing your participation. It has been a pleasure having you, and we do count on your continued connection with GCP.
No, I just wanna thank you too, and I'm gonna miss the board. It's a very, very interesting and very not just knowledgeable and sensitive and caring group of people, but also a fun group of people. It's for future board members. It's fun to be on the board of GCP.
Thank you very much, Juan Esteban.